so many, like, a week as a first year is one of like the most coolest things ever. Just like, it's just a mass way to meet people. Well, at the university I went to, I know they really provided a great student experience. That was one of my highlights, was O Week for sure. Playing rugby was also sweet, and meet people that way.
I think once you're here, like, you're studying something hopefully that you really enjoy, and you know, you're only in classes like so many hours a week in labs, so there's really a lot of sort of time for you just to enjoy being here.
Honestly, I don't think I had much in the way of surprises. I remember one time I was early on at UMBC in tears because they wanted a research paper, and I had spent so many years learning how to write essays. So I burst into the student education area and said, "What is this research paper? What are they talking about?" And it turned out it was an essay. So when you leave SMU, you have a huge, this is it, I'm doing my 4 years and my life begins after that, and in reality your life is happening right now. Your life is happening while you're at university. You can have goals, of course you should, but life's more complex than that.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I think probably everyone always has doubts when they're undertaking something, especially something as big as university. It's a different experience, you know, coming from home, living with your family, and then being in a dorm with some of your friends and new friends, and you know, you're kind of your own boss. You know, that being said, there's things that present themselves. I think just, you know, the more involved you are in SMU, it prepares you for a lot of the challenges that, you know, present themselves at university. So there wasn't a whole lot that I was worried about when I left. I feel like SMU prepares you pretty well. Like the opportunities and activities that you can take part in here prepare you for a lot of the things that I think university can throw at you.
Being flexible and careful with yourself, not putting huge, massive amounts of pressure on yourself, and letting yourself deal with the current situation on the ground and not what you thought it would look like, those would really help.
Well, I think it's really important to remember why you're here. You know, you're here to learn and to get a degree, and a lot of people come here without like a, you know, they want to go to university and they want to learn things, but they don't really know like what they want to study. So often I think you get kind of lost in that.
You gotta like make sure you take that first 2 weeks to just really enjoy yourself, like, you know, get to know people, get to be familiar with what you're doing. Don't fall behind on reading though, because that really like ends up hurting you later. Mainly just outlook. It's all about how you perceive it. Like, you know, you're gonna have your ups and downs at university, just as your ups and downs in high school and in life in general. It's just how you address that and how you overcome it and persevere. So
as long as you can kind of set your priorities and make sure that you stick to that, then, you know, you should probably find a good balance. So,
you know, something I do is I would go seek out my teacher or TA and like, look, like, this exam didn't go as well as I liked. I want to do better. What can I do? And if they couldn't help me, I'd at least get them to point me in a direction of someone who could.
I mean, life deals you weird stuff. You have to actually deal with it. Being incredibly tunnel vision, you miss out on opportunities, and you kind of drag yourself through perhaps more than you need to.
I know at the end of my first year, I had some serious reservations about whether I made the right choice to go back east, and I just felt I started something, and there were certain elements of there that I loved, and certain things, kind of like the weather, that I didn't like. But you know, it grows on you, and it grew on me, and I think it's one of those things where if you can just try to have fun and work hard at the things that matter, like school, then, you know, you should do pretty well. So in London, yeah. Really ugly. Yeah, it's I think the first day it snowed, I had 8:30 class, and I had 8:30 accounting class, which isn't that fun. And I woke up and there was 3.5 feet of snow on the ground in early November, and I just took my jacket back off and went back to bed. There was no way I was going to walk to class. So yeah, I had a couple of my friends, obviously not naming names, from that I went to school with here. I don't think made the transition as easy. I probably couldn't pinpoint why it would be that happened. You know, if I had to say one thing, I'd say maybe they weren't quite as involved as they could have been. I think that getting involved from the get-go really helps ease the transition process.
I'd say that the resilient ones are very goal-oriented, But I would say if you're going and you're going to be taking courses in literature and maybe some history and maybe some, or if you're going as a doctor, those are very different experiences.
The first challenge probably came in first year. I was just so used to like being involved in SMU with the opportunities that it has to offer that like I figured I'd try and put my hand in everything. So I was like doing rugby, I was like involved in my res, in my floor and stuff, and I tried to get involved in clubs and there's academics on top of it. I just find that if you spread yourself a bit too thin, you're not going to be able to maximize your experience. So,
Like it's hard too because a lot of the classes are, you're just in a lecture. It's really theoretical, and you sort of lose sight of what can I use this for in the real world. So I think that's when it's sort of nice to have a plan or a goal.
it's kind of tough, right? Because SMU, they're trying to give you a general education of everything, and then you go pick your direction, whereas in university, you're kind of narrowing it down to which path you want to pursue. So I guess, yeah, it's all more focused in university than in SMU.
I mean, in high school, you have so many classes happening, and like you're busy at school from 8 till 4 every day. Whereas when you're at university, you might have 3 hours of class, and that's your whole day.
It's not as regimented as coming to school where it's like, arrive here for 8, stay till 3, have whatever practice you go home, do homework. It's like, it's all based on you. So it's definitely a bit of a steep learning curve.
You'll be fine, honestly. I did a lot of AP courses, so I was actually tutoring for like 2 years. I was helping my friends who were doing the science element with their biology homework because I had done it.
Yeah, just have fun, be a go-getter, don't be afraid to go seeking people out even though it's intimidating, and take your time getting into things. The university's got so many possibilities and opportunities, and there's definitely plenty for everybody. It just takes time to find out what you want to do, so find that and you'll be golden.
Be as active as you can, whether it's with different clubs or classroom and sports or whatever. And
basically, my biggest advice would be to just dive in. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for absolutely everybody there. Just go for it. Get involved. Join the newspaper. Become, part of the student union. Do something that you're passionate about. Do art somehow.
I guess at the end of the day, everything works out. And I think for the most part, a lot of what you learn at SMU serves you really well for anything that might present itself at school. So just kind of have fun and work hard, and I think the rest of it will take care of itself.